wanted to show you how to play Blood on the Rooftops. And what I just played was the introduction to this song on Wind and Wuthering from, I think, 1976. And I always loved that song, just so beautiful. And I learned that introduction back when I was a teenager, but I didn't ever bother to learn the rest of the song until now, just a few days ago. And I've always loved Steve Hackett's playing and composition because he just plays so beautifully. And his chord structures are often so unusual, and the melodies that he places on top of them. And maybe as a teenager, I didn't have enough experience yet, since I was self-taught, to be able to figure out what he was playing, buried in with the other instruments too. But now I took the time a few days ago to figure out what he was playing, and I play by ear, so there are probably tabs out there and other things, but I prefer just to listen and keep my ear finely tuned as much as possible. So I'm just going to play it very slowly and allow you to kind of see what I'm playing from the point that Phil Collins comes in and begins singing. So even that is just really beautiful when he comes down on that G or D over G chord. He does that a lot, and it's just really beautiful. On the Toast, off of one of his solo albums, he begins that way. And if you're on Facebook, look me up on there, because I do that song and I play guitar and sing and do the harmonies as well. So it's just really cool. And then in the interlude, the instrumental part where his brother probably is playing the flute, I play that on guitar, where I'm triggering a physically modeled flute. So just get on my page and search for The Toast. So anyway, use your middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. And then open 5th and slide your fingers up. And then you hit the 4th string and add your middle finger on the 3rd string. And then he plays an E major, but it's in the D form up top. If you know the difference between chords and forms, that's the D chord, but also the D form. If you play an E, it is an E, but in the D form, because the fingering is the same. So he plays, and then a B, just barring across on the 4th fret, and then he goes up high, and then hits a 4th string and just does a bar across on the 9th fret, and then a D, and then comes down to that D over G again. And then this is my favorite section because it's so ethereal, but it's just so unusual, so bizarre, but gorgeous chords. And I had to look it up because I had no idea exactly what he was playing there, but it's a D flat major 7th with a suspended 2nd. So this is where Tony Banks comes in with synthesizer that sounds kind of like an oboe, plays the melody on top. I don't know who came up with that melody, but again, it's just very strange and unusual, but it fits perfectly and ties these chords together. So the chords are just a D, it's just something I would never think of playing on my own. That just sounds so odd. But the way he does it in typical Hackett style, it's just gorgeous with the strings behind it and the melody that Tony Banks is playing. So it's just a D, and then so you just bar all the way across on the 4th fret, and then add your ring finger on the 4th string, 2 frets above that, and your middle finger on the fret right above the bar. And then hit the E and roll that chord, and then same chord as below, but just up 2 frets. Then simple A, and then I don't know how he plays it. When I performed this the other day on my Facebook channel, I played it like this because it's just more natural. And that works as long as you keep your fingers high enough where you don't mute it accidentally when you come down here and play the C, because you're just at such a twisted angle. It would be easy to just allow your middle finger to rest and mute that 1st string, which you don't want to do. And the other problem is once you lift your ring finger, it's easy to accidentally make that B, that open 2nd string, ring out, and you really don't want that either. So the other way you could play it is coming out of the A. Same notes, but it's like you're playing a C. And instead of your index finger being down on the 1st fret, you use your pinky up here, still on the 2nd string, but on the 3rd fret. And then you move your index finger onto the 1st string, 2nd fret. That way, when you lift your pinky finger, by then your index finger is already underneath it, kind of like a safety net, so it can't ring out that B. So that is the beginning of the verse, and then he goes back. I think he is playing the 5th string there. And then he hits the 4th and does that bar. Just like that. And then he does those unusual chords again. So at another point, he starts playing this before going into the chorus, another very unusual picking pattern and notes that, again, are just beautiful. And Tony Banks is accompanying him with just kind of a bell-like synth sound. So what you're doing is your index finger is on the 6th fret, 3rd string. Uh-oh, I hear a bird knocking on the roof. Hopefully not building a nest. Okay, I've got to go stop him. I'll come back. Okay, sorry about that. Mountain living has its challenges. We have mountain lions up here and bears on our property. It's interesting at times. Woodpeckers and other birds trying to peck holes into the side of the house, which I built 24, almost 25 years ago here. So back to that pattern. So index finger on the 6th fret, 3rd string, and then ring finger up 3, then you just slide it down a half step. Another half step. Then he throws that 3rd in, which is really sweet sounding. So he just bars across the 1st string. And then lifts it to hit the open 1st string again. And then the same form, that same interval, all the way down where your index is on the 1st fret. And then he hits the E for the bass note. Then he comes back up and plays the same thing again. And he kind of slows it down a little bit and then comes in on the chorus with an E minor, A or D, and then an A, and a G. And when I'm playing with the recording, Tony Banks is playing some interesting intervals, more colorful than just the standard major chords. So on my video that I posted on Facebook, I'm just kind of playing the fifths, just kind of reinforcing the chords without complicating it. And then Mike Rutherford does which is just a real nice hook. If you're playing it solo guitar, one thing you could do is to play that D up as a bar chord, but do it in such a way where, if you're double jointed like I am, your pinky plays those 3 notes, but it lifts instead of being just playing the regular bar chord. It leaves that first string open, which I just think adds a real nice color to it, more interest. Like I said, if you're just playing without a keyboardist. So instead of that, just add a little color. And then you could do the same thing. Instead of playing a full bar on the A, lift your index where you're just playing on the 6th string and leave the 1st and 2nd string open. So. And then he goes down to an F sharp minor, G, F sharp minor, and then he goes up, modulates to another minor, then a C sharp minor, E major, and then repeats it. But when he comes back to that E major, then he goes minor. And that's pretty much the whole song, and then he'll just repeat the 2nd verse. And then he goes back to that same but he cuts it short this time and then goes right back into the next chorus. So everything is the same, except the only thing at the very end, Hackett will play that. So he'll just use his pinky to roll. And you could sit there and do that all day, over and over, but if you're playing it and using your pinky, there's no way I could do that. Hopefully I can get it once. That's it, and they just fade out from there. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it, and just keep making music. Makes the world a better place.